Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Autumn and today we are doing another writing vlog. Currently, I am sitting here reading and just enjoying my afternoon. It's been somewhat of a cloudy, dreary type of day, so I've just been reading, and I've been getting a lot of reading done just with the same book, Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. Lately, the writing has been slim to none. I talked a little bit about this in my Camp Nano announcement video for July, where when something negative happens or a couple of negative things happen, it just kind of feels like it takes you out of the writing world or your creative space. And that happened recently. I'm fine, it's all good. There's just been a lot revolving around this one thing that has taken up so much time, and it's just not an ideal situation. But it's probably been about a week and a half since I have worked on my story or really done anything creative. I did read a book. I run a book club with my friend Brie Bonomo, and we were reading The Two Towers, which is the second book in the Lord of the Rings series trilogy by Tolkien, and that was pretty much all I've been doing creative wise. Everything else has just been personal life work. I'm hoping to use the next few days to get back into my story and find my creative balance again, because we've just been not on track. I've also not been working out as much. It's been 3 weeks since I've gone to the gym, and that's just unacceptable. And I've noticed with myself that whenever something negative or stressful or out of the norm happens to me and it throws everything off, I always have a hard time getting back to it, if that makes any sense. I'm hoping to read a little bit more, try to get back into the writing and find my rhythm again, because for a little while there, you guys, I was jamming. I was writing, I was working out, I was reading, I was keeping things clean around my apartment, and it was just a great time. And I should have known that something was going to happen because I felt like I was at the top of my game. But all is well, all is fine, everybody's healthy, and we're fortunate, but it's just not an ideal situation. Anyways, so since I haven't really been writing a lot recently, there's not a whole lot I feel like I need to catch you guys up on. I'm still around the 32,000 word mark. I would like to write another 5,000 to 8,000 words this month before I start Camp July. We'll just have to see how that goes. I think I'm on chapter 13 or 14 of the project, and I'm still right around the midpoint. This is the part of the book that I have been wanting to write and to get through for the longest time. I've been so excited to get to this point, and now that I'm in this point, everything in my personal life has stopped me. I want to get back to it. I am just taking this afternoon to do a little bit more reading of my book. I've done a little bit of cleaning this morning and some other things. I just want to slowly get back into writing. And yeah, so that's pretty much all I have for this very long update. Holy crap, I've been chatting for 5 minutes. How is that even possible? But anyways, I'm gonna get back to reading, and hopefully I can get some writing in today too. So wish me luck. Oh wait, I'm looking rough, and I'm filming on my phone, so it's probably making it look even worse. There's a scene in Moana that makes me cry every single time. I'm gonna start crying again. Whenever her grandmother passes away, that scene just makes me so freaking sad. And the only reason I feel like it makes me cry so much is because Moana and her grandmother have such a strong connection, but the scene always makes me cry because it just makes me think of my relationship with my grandmother when I was younger. So now that I've cried on camera, I'm just gonna keep watching this. That's the only part that makes me cry. We love this angle. Is it gonna get any better? Probably not. It's fine. So I've been writing for a little while. So there was a scene, just like a random scene, that I was thinking about yesterday and earlier today. It has nothing to do with the story that I'm writing. It has nothing to do with the story I've written in the past. It was just random words, basically. I decided to just lean into feeling that creativity and lean into wanting to write those words down on a Word document. It was just something that I just wanted to write. Like that's really all there is to it. And I don't think that there's ever going to be anything to come out of this. Now that I leaned into my creativity and wrote something that was not related to Project Ice, I am going to now work on Project Ice. And the reason I wanted to talk about why I decided to write that is because I've realized that even if I write little things like this that aren't involved or they're not on a project I'm currently working on, I want to get that creativity out. I want to write down these story ideas, write down these little snippets, because you never know in the future. They might be something. Like this could turn into something else or it could not. This could turn into a different idea that could lead to another story. You know what I mean? Lately I have been trying to, I say lately, I know I also said at the beginning of this that I haven't been writing as often as I should. Lately as in more recently in my writing career versus when I started my writing career 3 years ago, I now lean into a lot of when I'm feeling like I want to write something and it really doesn't have anything to do with my main story, I do lean into that. Of course, if you do that, I feel like you should be careful that you're not constantly working on other things instead of the novel, the primary project. But I certainly don't want to ignore the feeling of wanting to get these words out. And I hope that's making sense. I don't do this very often, but I wanted to do it today because today was a good day to try and get into my writing, feel that creativity flow through my veins and through my fingers and onto the keyboard. Now I'm gonna work on Project Ice. I'm really excited. So I'm gonna turn on my playlist. I'll leave my playlist for this project linked down below. If you're ever curious about what I'm listening to when I'm typing or during my live streams, because I am always listening to my playlist. So I'm gonna do that for a little while, maybe about 30 minutes, and see how things go. I don't know if I will ever be able to stress how much I love this story and just how much I missed it and how much in the shade I am. The sun is setting, so I don't feel like we're gonna be getting the best lighting. Probably been about 30-40 minutes, and that sun is really bad. Hang on, we gotta fix that. Okay, that's probably a little bit better. I love this story so much. I've just had so much fun writing it too. I wish I could plug in how I feel and let you guys feel that same feeling. You know, it's just phenomenal, really. So it's been, I think I said like 35-ish minutes. While I wouldn't say this was my best writing session, I'm certainly not disappointed in my writing session. I probably only wrote around like 300 words. Okay, yeah, so I only wrote around 254 words, but what's happening here is since this is the midpoint, what my main character was somewhat struggling with in the beginning of the story, this is where she's having to kind of face that issue again, and we're getting to see how far she's come since then. Of course, it's not gonna be 100%. She still has, you know, the midpoint on to go to completely fix this problem or not fix this problem. I really am liking this midpoint. She's learned a lot up until this point, and I have certainly learned a lot about her in this story up until the midpoint. This definitely was not my best writing session as in word count, but I'm certainly loving where this story is headed and where this chapter is headed. I'm loving this scene and I'm taking my time with it because it's such a crucial point in the story where I want to try to help my future selves in editing the best that I can, so I can know once I get back to editing this that at the midpoint that this all was what I wanted to happen. So this chapter is probably in editing will need to be split up and worked on a lot more. But right now I think there's 3 or 4 scenes that I have going on for this chapter. I think it's a healthy-ish balance between everything that's happening. I'm feeling a lot better now about my story than I was earlier today, and kind of beating myself up about not making my writing more of a priority within like these last couple of weeks. There were just things that were going on that needed to be at least handled to where they were no longer in my control. And then I felt like I can focus more. And this is where we're at right now. I'm going to, I don't know, I want to keep writing, but I am so hungry and my partner's gonna be home soon. So there needs to be food because I am starving. I've been awake since 6 o'clock in the morning. Yay me. And I am ready to get some writing in. So I have a somewhat busy afternoon and evening, and I don't think I'm going to be able to get any writing in later today. So before I have somewhere to be between like 10 and 10:30, I want to get some writing in. It's like 8:54 right now. I want to hopefully finish chapter 13 and get a good bit into chapter 14. I'm not exactly sure how much more I have left to write for chapter 13. I'll have to look, but I am ready to get through this midpoint. We're gonna try and do that today and hopefully get a decent amount of words written. I was wide awake at 6 o'clock this morning. I spent the morning reading a little bit of Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I'm about 9 chapters into that book right now. At first I wasn't too sure about it. I'm not a big dark academia type girly, but I really enjoy Leigh Bardugo's writing. I think she's doing a great job so far of writing in a different genre other than like fantasy, like for Shadow and Bone. For the first like 3 or 4 chapters, I was completely lost. I had no idea what was going on. And then I finally understood and I was like, okay, now we're on the same page, Leigh. So I did that this morning and just took my morning slow. Now I want to just start writing and start working on everything with this story. So I will check in with you guys. I'll check in with you guys maybe in like an hour and give you an update with how my writing is going. Also, this weather is just madness. It is just so dark and gloomy outside, and it was like this yesterday. It's really not the summer I was hoping for. I was really wanting bright sunshine, to be able to sit out by the pool, get some reading done, soak up the sun. I have not been able to do any of that. I have sat out by the pool once this summer, and that was like in May. It's been a weird summer and it's been a little gloomy. The days that I have been, or the nights that I've been working, the days have been just beautiful sunshine, no clouds in the sky, perfect days to just sit out and soak up the sun. And then the days I have off from work are just dark and gloomy and scattered thunderstorms all day. That's just my luck. So hello, it's not that long later. I was just pulling up all of my documents and listening to my playlist to get into the mindset of this story. I just checked the word count for chapter 13 and I clicked out of it. This chapter already has 2,360 words, so I'm going to be wrapping up this chapter fairly soon. If you've been following along in any of my vlogs, you know that I've been trying to keep my word counts between 2,000 and 2,500 words just to keep the flow of the story going. I will be wrapping up chapter 13 fairly quickly. That's all I wanted to say. So I will be starting chapter 14 soon. I looked over my plot grid that you're sitting on, and I am pretty pleased with how well I'm following this. I'm also letting myself discovery draft some things as well. So if something pops up, or if something had popped up earlier that I pantsed and then I have an opportunity to sneak that topic back in, I am doing that. So I'm still pleased that everything is still kind of following the outline that I made when I originally started working on this story. It's definitely grown since then, so some things are kind of more tweaked and not necessarily how I originally pictured them in my mind. I am not upset with where the story's going and how I'm following the plot grid and just having a good time with it. So now I'm going to start writing and finish chapter 13 and start chapter 14, and hopefully make some good progress into chapter 14 as well. It's been about 40 minutes since I last updated you guys, and I did end up finishing chapter 13, and I ended up going over my word limit for the chapter, but I mean, it's fine. It is what it is. Nothing is gonna happen if I go over that word count just slightly. So I did end up going over that word count, and I started chapter 14, and I am really proud of this chapter and a half, the words that I wrote. I ended up writing 940 words. It's not the most words that I've written in like a 40-minute time period. At least it doesn't feel like it. I felt like my pace was a lot slower today, but I honestly think it's because it'd been a while since I wrote, so I'm also trying to get back to the same pace that I'd been writing this story at. I'm not disappointed in that word count, for sure, and finishing chapter 13, starting chapter 14, I'm coming down from that midpoint. So chapter 13 would be considered the midpoint, but then it doesn't just stop, right? Like, you have to climb down from the midpoint. So I'm still climbing down from the midpoint. There are some things that I still want to happen. While I am really happy with what I wrote, I don't know if it's exactly what I wanted for that scene. Later on, I'm definitely gonna have to tweak that and figure out how to make it a little bit more cleaner and maybe get it to where it fits into the story a little bit more. So with that, I am gonna take a break from writing since I wrote for about an hour. I know I said I had quite a few things to do later today, but I want to try and get at least one more writing session in today. Maybe like a 30-minute sprint. I mean, that seems pretty fair. I do have to bake cookies later. While the cookies are baking, I can always just write. So that wouldn't be 30 minutes because you don't bake cookies for 30 minutes unless you want them to turn out like gold. I might be able to do like 2 10-minute sprints a little bit later today. Getting back into the story, I've missed it. I also feel like maybe my energy in this vlog isn't quite how my other vlogs have been, but that's just how I'm feeling right now. And some of the unfortunate situations that have been going on have kind of put me out of the mood, which I think we talked about that yesterday. I mean, everything's fine. Things could have been a lot worse, but it's just not an ideal situation. Trying to push past that situation, everything that was going on with that, and get back to normal or somewhat something normal. That's me. That's what I've got going on. How are you guys doing? Let me know down in the comments how you're doing with your writing. How was the month of June? And what do you have to look forward to in July? So I'm gonna go ahead and do other things. Well, I guess we are, because I do have plans to take you guys with me. Let's go enjoy the rest of our day and try and feel a little bit better. There was one other thing I wanted to say about my writing. I was closing out all of my tabs and I forgot that I wanted to add this to our conversation. Do you guys remember, I think I maybe have mentioned this in every vlog or one of my vlogs I've mentioned this, where there was one of my subplots that I didn't really talk too much about or introduce a lot into the story when I was supposed to, and it's kind of been inconsistent. I think I dropped 1 or 2 seeds of this subplot. Well, this chapter 14, I went total just all in with this subplot. I am going to need to definitely make sure when I go back and edit that I add in where I hadn't written these characters and this subplot in. It's really funny where throughout the story we were just given hints of these beings, and then in chapter 14 it was just like boom, here they are. They were just right in your face. I just wanted to share that, and I thought that that was kind of funny. They really hadn't made too much of an appearance until now the midpoint. It's like, yep, here we are. We've been here this whole time and we support you. Yep, that's us. I got a big kind of kick out of that. That's like a first draft complete mess for you. It's pretty lively out here today. I just don't know why I just have such a weird feeling. It's so strange. It's about to go down with Game of Thrones. I feel like I've been quite obsessed with Aldi lately. I mean, I've only gone twice. This is my second time going. But you guys got to witness the first time. They have the sparkling lemonade. Actually, no, this is my third time coming here because the first time I didn't buy it, but I was thinking about it, and then I came a second time, got the sparkling lemonade, and now here's my third time getting it again. My folks and I love this sparkling lemonade. It's a little expensive, but it's worth it. I got this little like ginger immunity shot. I feel like I'm low on something. Well, cash, but I think it's just I'm stressed. I think that's what it is. And then it's just like in my stomach and I feel like I can't concentrate on anything. And I don't know maybe if it is the weather and because there's not a lot of sunshine out right now. I mean, it's sunny now. I don't know. Maybe I'm just not getting as much sunshine as I need. Anyways, my third Aldi haul and I am very excited. I need to run to the liquor store and see if they have this bottle of wine for us to mix with the sparkling lemonade. And then I want to get a bottle of champagne for my friend and her husband because they just bought a house and they're having a housewarming party. Okay, so I am back from doing all of those things that I had to do. I'm heating up some lunch. Not this, that over there. And I think I want to take one of those little immunity shots. This isn't the ginger one that I bought today. I don't know if I'm really feeling the ginger at the moment. This one is watermelon strawberry. And I think I'm supposed to drink the entire thing. I don't even know if I'm supposed to shake it, but I've never had one, but maybe it'll help me. This one is for immunity boost. It's powered by vitamins C and D3. I have no idea what any of that means. I'm just gonna go for it. Ooh, that was really good. And just like that, it's gone. So we'll see if that does anything to help my mood, but I'm gonna watch TV and eat some leftovers. Hopefully I'll feel a little bit better a little bit later on. I'm feeling so much better than I was earlier. I don't know if it was that little immunity shot thing or if I ate. Maybe I was just feeling low blood sugar and I needed to eat something, but I'm feeling a lot better right now. So I have the oven preheating because I'm about to make those cookies, and I'm just straightening up the living room right now. I bought these little pillows that say "Happy Place." I didn't know they were as small as they were gonna be, so I kept the box that they came in. I didn't cut the tags off just in case I needed to return them, and then I put the one that used to be here on the little chair next to us. I am going to write once I put those cookies in. I know I said earlier I wasn't sure if I was going to because not feeling the best, but I feel a lot better now than I did. So I am going to write for a little while. I think it's like almost 3 and we're gonna be leaving at like 5:30 to go to my parents' house tonight. So I'm gonna do a little bit of writing later. I wanted to do a little bit more reading of Ninth House today, but I don't think that's gonna happen, but that's okay. So I need to finish putting this puzzle away and then throw those cookies in, then I can write. So let me do this and I'll check in with you guys later. The living room is clean, and now I'm gonna wash my hands and put the cookies in and then start writing. For the cookies, I did the 13 minutes. So I sat in here, I was listening to my music, working on my chapter 14, and I was sitting here and I was like, wow, I feel like I've been writing for a while. So I was like, let me just go out and check on the cookies. So I go out there and check on the cookies, and sometimes our oven will do this where it will go off 3 times and then that timer turns off. That's what happened. Good thing I only put them in for 13 minutes because they came out perfect. But I definitely think they sat there for a couple more minutes before I was able to get to them. I already put in the other batch and I still did 13 minutes, but for this writing session I didn't turn my music on just in case. I have written so far for these 2 writing sessions 381 words, so it's been like 15-ish minutes total. I only need 300 more words before I am at 34,000 words in the entire document. We're gonna push through. We're gonna write another 301 words. Technically it's 301 words. We're gonna do it. I'm gonna wait for the cookies to finish and then I'm gonna take them out the oven, turn on my playlist again, and then hopefully in about 30-ish minutes I can get another 300 words. I won't say that what I've written today I've completely loved, but I'm writing and I'm feeling a lot better than I did this morning and yesterday, so I am just embracing it. And I mean, so far today I have written 1,321 words. I've written 2 scenes and I finished 1 chapter and I started another chapter. I'm still in this one scene in chapter 14. I was at one of those places where I wasn't exactly sure if I was liking what I was writing, if I was liking where that was going, so I wrote a paragraph just kind of summarizing what I wanted in that scene because I couldn't quite find the words of how I wanted it all said and to play out. So I wrote a paragraph to cover what I couldn't quite get out. I am moving forward. This hasn't been the most ideal writing session, but I'm getting stuff done. So there's still a few things left that I need to get done in chapter 14, and I hear the cookies. Once I get the cookies, I'm gonna come back and write for a little bit. I won't finish chapter 14, but we'll get a little bit more done in this chapter. Remember earlier, I think I said this earlier, where I didn't want to go pick up the Game of Thrones book because I didn't want to make 2 trips, so I was waiting for both of the 2 library books that I needed to get in before I went. Well, guess what came in? The other book I was waiting for So now I have to go all the way back to the library. I'm not going today. We're establishing that right now. I'll go, like, I guess tomorrow or something, but I should have known. Should have known. I'm not the least bit surprised, to be totally honest. Major confession. I did not write for 30 minutes like I said I was going to get 300 words. But those cookies, the second round of cookies turned out beautifully. We've got like 15 minutes before we're going to run to my parents' house for supper. I will see you guys later, and we probably will not be getting any writing done later today. I need to get ready for tonight.